सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त गुरूणां देवतानाम् अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्तिकल्याणार्थं समस्त साधकानां भक्तानां विघ्ननिवारण साधना संपदा शक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं छान्दोग्य उपनिषदः पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं। We are in Chandogya Upanishad Parayanam, 8th chapter we have entered into, and the 4th khanda onwards we will do. So it's a very good endeavor that in all our classes we are spending some time for becoming familiar with our great shastras and mantras through our chantings. Then we are also trying to see the meaning. Now let us see. Om Ada Chandogya Upanishada Shanti Mantraha. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaha Chakshuh Shrotram Atho Balam Indriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamasto Anirakaranam Me Asto Tadatmani Nirate Ye Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te Mayi Santo ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम अथ चतुर्थः खंडः। ओम अष्टमोऽध्याये चतुर्थः खंडः। ओम ओम अथ यः आत्मा सह सेतुः विधृति येषां लोकानाम् असंभेदाय न एतगं सेतुम् अहोरात्रे तरतः न जरा न मृत्यु न शोकः न सुकृतं न दुष्कृतगं सर्वे पाप्मानः अतः निवर्तन्ते अपहत पाप्मा हि एषः ब्रह्मलोकः। तस्माद्वा एतगं सेतुं तीर्त्वा अन्धः सन् अनन्धो भवति विद्धः सन् अविद्धो भवति उपतापी सन् अनुपतापी भवति। तस्माद्वा एतगं सेतुं तीर्त्वा अपि नक्तम् अहरेव अविनिष्पद्यते सकृद्विभातो हि एव एषः ब्रह्मलोकः। तद्य एव एतं ब्रह्मलोकं ब्रह्मचर्येण अनुविन्दन्ति तेषाम् एव एषः ब्रह्मलोकः। तेषां सर्वेषु लोकेषु कामचारो भवति। अथ पञ्चमः खण्डः। अथ यद् यज्ञः इति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण हि एव यः ज्ञाता तं विन्दते। अथ यद् इष्टमिति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तद् ब्रह्मचर्येण हि एव इष्ट्वा आत्मानम् अनुविन्दते। अथ यत् सत्रायणमिति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण हि एव सतः आत्मनः त्राणं विन्दते। अथ यत् मौनमिति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण हि एव आत्मानम् अनुविद्य मनुते। अथ यत् अनाशकाय नम् इति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् एष हि आत्मा न नश्यति यं ब्रह्मचर्येण अनुविन्दते। अथ यत् अरण्यायनम् इति आचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् तदरक्ष हवै न्यश्च अर्णवौ ब्रह्मलोके तृतीयस्याम् इतः दिवि तदा तदा तदैरं मदीयगं सरः तदश्वत्थः सोमसवनः तद् अपराजितापूः ब्रह्मणः प्रभुमितिगं हिरण्मयं तद्य एव एतावरं क्षम्यं चार्णवौ ब्रह्मलोके ब्रह्मचर्येण अनुविन्दन्ति तेषामेव एषः ब्रह्मलोकः तेषागं सर्वेषु लोकेषु कामचारो भवति। अथ षष्ठः खण्डः। अथ या एता हृदयस्य नाड्यः ताः पिङ्गलस्याणिम्नि तिष्ठन्ति शुक्लस्य नीलस्य पीतस्य लोहितस्य इति असौ वा आदित्यः पिङ्गलः एषः शुक्लः एषः नीलः एषः पीतः एषः लोहितः तद्यथा महापथ आततः उभौ ग्रामौ गच्छति इमं च अमुं च एवमेव एता आदित्यस्य रश्मयः उभौ लोकौ गच्छन्ति इमं च अमुं च अमुष्माद् आदित्यात् प्रजायन्ते ताः आसु नाडीषु सुप्ताः आभ्यः नाडीभ्यः प्रजायन्ते ते अमुष्मिन् आदित्ये सुप्ताः तद्यत्र एतत् सुप्तः समस्तः सम्प्रसन्नः स्वप्नं न विजानाति आसु तदा नाडीषु सुप्तः भवति तं न कश्चन पाप्मा स्पृशति तेजसा हि तदा सम्पन्नो भवति। अथ यत्र एतद् अबलिमानं नीतः भवति तम् अभितः आसीनाः आहुः जानासि माम् इति सः यावत् अस्मात् शरीरात् अनुत्क्रान्तो भवति तावत् जानाति। अथ यत्र एतत् अस्मात् शरीरात् उत्क्रामति अथ एतैः एव रश्मिभिः ऊर्ध्वमाक्रमते स ओमिति वा होद्वा मीयते स यावत् क्षिप्येत मनः तावदादित्यं गच्छति एतद्वै खलु लोकद्वारं विदुषां प्रपदनं विरोधः विदुषां तदेष श्लोकः। शतं चैका च हृदयस्य नाड्यः तासां मूर्धानमभिनिसृतैका तयोर्धुमायन्नमृतत्वमेति विश्वङ्गन्या उत्क्रमणे भवन्ति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनाम्हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तो सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Salutations to the Lord, to all the Gurus, Brahma Vidya Acharyas, to Vedavyasa, Vaishampayana, Yajnavalkya, Adya Shankara, Adi. The two types of people are achievers and non-achievers. The non-achievers are those, first of all, they are not conceiving the goal. They are afraid of it only. Even if they sometimes understand and accept the goal, but still they take the path to that goal to be so tough and difficult, and they think we can't do. The moment the attitude of we can't do comes, because we said we can't do, therefore we will never do. And thus we never achieve the things. A very low, mediocre life we live. This is valid as much in the Vyavahara, so much in the spirituality also. We as a Adhyatmika sadhakas have to, along with all our efforts of study and sadhana, conquer these inner weakenings of the mind also. Spirituality is tough, but then we have to understand the glorious goal when we reach the spiritual heights. When the spiritual goal is reached, what a beautiful is the experience. Just now we studied in our Chandogya Parayanam, in the fourth Anuvaka itself is the Mahima of the Brahmanubhuti is said. First we have to see it. What is the result? Then how glorious it is. Then we must love it. We must like it. We must strongly feel for it. We must strongly desire for it. That is where all the sadhana and its intensity lies. Only after that way we like or love or desire the goal. Then when we look into the path, it is definitely not so easy. But then we have to reach to that goal we are convinced about. Therefore, every of these sadhanas, when we take them as the necessary challenges and feel that we have the grace of God and Guru, and we have inside our own abilities and talents, and definitely we will try our best and we will also reach. If this optimism is there, then no difficulty is given up because thinking that it is difficult. Yes, at one level it is difficult only consistently to maintain the mood of the mind intellect in the Paramatma Bhavana, not an ordinary thing or easier thing for the common people like you and I. Maybe after some 10, 20 lives, we may reach to that level wherein we are always reveling in Paramatma. Yastu atmarati revasyat atmatruptasya manavaha atmanyevacha santushtaha. That stage we reach if we work from now onwards. But what makes us work now is taking the difficulties as the challenges, inspiring ourselves by that beautiful goal, knowing that yes, it is difficult, but I can do thought. I have to do the Wala thought, and I will try to do the thought. With these three, when we plunge into the activity, then I will do and I have done. These experiences come. Because the extroverted path of worldliness with the extroverted mind and senses is easy because it is gross world. It is tangible. It is tempting. And it is that which we are involving in from so many lives. Therefore, it is a habit for us. Therefore, it is easy. And the whole world also is living that type of life only. Therefore, it is very tempting and that way inspiring. But what about spirituality? How many are following? How many come to morning class without? How many listen to Upanishad? How many people's mind has got the thought of Brahma and Brahma Vidya? Even in the spiritual field, so called, If you take a 10 lakhs of spiritual people, out of them, hardly maybe a few countable in numbers that who seek Brahma Tattva, Tat Atma Tattva. All others worshipping the God for various outer gains only. Even seeking Brahma Tattva, they only wait for some opportunity or maybe at a very small little study or effort level they are. But that's not sufficient. Unless Upanishads with Bhashyam and Nirantaram we have done the Adhyayanam, Mananam, Chintanam, then the intricacies and subtleties will not come to us. It is that side. But other side, even to do that effectively, efficiently, our own personality has to be so Shuddha, so Sattvaguni, so in the Ekagra Bhumi Ityadi. Do you think it is easy job? Not at all. But if we take it as very tough, then slowly the in the mind that demoralization will happen. We will become pessimistic and we say it is not possible to me. So slowly I'll back up or withdraw. Remember, for moksha, ultimately for every jiva, no other way than knowing the truth. Knowing the truth as this is the only way. And any life you come to the liberation or knowing truth, the difficulty will be same only. It's not going to become easier by not doing it. It's going to become easier only by doing. So therefore, any thought of it is difficulty, we have to overpower it by taking it as a challenge and believing in oneself, believing in that goal. Most importantly, believe that we are always being blessed, protected, taken care of by our own Ishtadevata and Guru. Or keep intensifying the upasana to them. Ask them to give that special power required to take up these, not difficulties, not problems, but the challenges. Like for Arjuna, he had to fight the war with thousands of people in number. Powerful they are also. More importantly, they are his own dear and near ones. Bhishmadi, Dronadi, Krupadi, all of them are his own people. Exactly is our inner war of spirituality. You know, the things to be conquered are thousands and they're very powerful, the non positive gunas, to be replaced by the powerful positive gunas. And these non positive gunas are like Bhishma, Drona, are loved by us, liked by us. We can't easily leave them. You know, the taste we get through the 1 hour extra sleep, you know, the enjoyment we get through the objects of the world, you know, the happiness we get through our entertainments, the happiness we get through the love from the people around us, you know, and we also give them love. So all of them are so much into us. We love living in them. Whereas for spiritual understanding and evolution, all these have to be conquered or transcended. Like we were chanting in Chandogya, in those 2, 3 anuvakas, khandas, this is what is said. We have to, and how tough it is, you see. It's tough, it is not easy because of many lives of that type of life. But ऐसा कहे तो होगा ही नहीं. If you say difficult to come to class, it will always be difficult. If you say it is very tough to listen to Upanishad, it is ever tough only. If you say I can't understand the Bhashyam, it will never. So that is, it is tough, oh, I can't, it will never happen. Why that pessimism? Always, it will be, I'll try. If it has happened to some person, the understanding and practice and experience, it is possible to every person. In that every person, you and I are also there. Come to the level of taking the difficulties as challenges. And naturally, when it is difficult, when it is a challenge, there is no other way than pouring out every aspect of ours. That type of conviction we have to come to. There are only two things: conviction or compromise, sacrifice or compromise. You know, either you sacrifice the lower things for the sake of sadhana, or compromise with the goal and कह दो कि ठीक है नहीं होगा मेरे से छोड़ दिया, let me be like anybody in the world. And those who have always compromised, who never have tasted the higher sadhanas and evolutions. It's only those who have had the guts to sacrifice the lower alone could go to the higher levels, both in the worldly achievements, also here in spirituality. So, therefore, let us make our hearts, personalities like this. It's a challenge, it's a tough thing, no doubt, but we take it as challenge. And whatever the existing abilities, resources are there, we'll try to pour all of them for only this goal. And if they are not sufficient, we seek from various sources, including the God and Guru, those extra needed abilities to fulfill these challenges, to work hard in these challenges. In this way, we have to keep on muttering in our own mind for removing the weakening thoughts and replacing them by the inspiring and strengthening thoughts. Our mind is a dangerous fellow. It always tries to give those thoughts and suggestions of weakness where we find these sadhanas to be very tough and we don't want to do it. Back out. Like any Tirtha Yatra, where you have to climb the hill or mountain for reaching Bhagwan's darshanam. सो दर्द होता है घुटनों में, फिर मन में भी डर लगता है कैन आई गो और नॉट, सो इट इज डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी, आई विल बैक आउट. It is a thought coming to all, but those who have conquered this thought with the positive challenging thought that I will try my best and reach out, he keeps on moving, he reaches one day. So in our lives also, it is not easy, there is no doubt. But that not easy thought should not demoralize us. So it is not easy, but not impossible also. There are people who have achieved, less qualified than me, also have achieved it by taking them as challenges. So if they can do, why not me? I also can study Upanishads with the Bhashyam, understand every aspect of it. For that, whatever the Vyaktitva or the personality I have to make of myself, of always inspiring, of always being active, always in being dynamic mood, always in that subtlety, I will gather these qualities. For that, sometime I may have to sacrifice many things which spoil my personality, and I have to do some tough things which make my personality. The things which will spoil our personality are all the Dravya Yukta indulgences, and which purify, beautify, unify, sanctify our personality are the upasanas, the japas, all of them. Unless these are done on regular basis, our personality will not be fit enough to take up this challenge of spiritual study, spiritual listening, spiritual thought, contemplation, understanding and practice, and spiritual goal reaching. For everyone, this is so. So, should we go back from here to the place from where we started, extreme the worldliness, samsara, or even though it is tough, difficult, but we take it as challenge and should we move ahead? Think about it. Take it as challenge. Don't allow anything to demoralize and go on doing. And after all, what will happen on the end route? Two things only will happen. One, we may not achieve the success soon. Second, we may die. Die तो anyway we'll do. Success, if not this life, continue होगा अगले जन्म में. Then we will do it. Remember this thought very strongly. All the time it should be. It's a continuous journey. Even after this deha, the sadhana in me will continue. Therefore, that will be better than this one if I am working hard in this life. Visualize that, imagine that. With all the toughnesses, difficulties, and challenges taken up and efforts put by us, as a result, little of the evolution gained. Also, Ishvara Guru Kripa, our subsequent lives will be more beautiful spiritually. In that way, inspiring ourselves with that future lives, inspiring ourselves with the goal, inspiring ourselves with the people who have reached it, seeing them, and with our own auto suggestions, take as challenge, keep on doing, go on moving, and keep on even evolving also. Having said so, now we are into the second Brahmananda Valli of our wonderful Taittiriya Upanishad, relentlessly, which we are just trying to go through. In the second Brahmananda Valli, in the first portion, in the Shanti mantra, through that 5 mantras and 3 Shantis, we try to tune to Paramatma and mutually also to the purpose for which we have come together. In that, there are some commitments are there, pratignas, and those commitments to fulfill, we have taken it on ourselves and it prayatnam. Finally, there is a prayer. Then Bhagavan took up in the second topic the Anubandha Bhashya, Sambandha Bhashya. In that such a beautiful and sweet manner, he has summarized what was taught. What was taught was the Upasana Prakriya. With that, one can reach up to the Sarvabhauma Sthiti, Hiranyagarbha Sthiti. But still, even at that stage, the Samsara Bija called the Avidya is not yet removed. But that type of life helped us in what? Taking up challenges, sacrificing, working hard, reaching to the higher and higher. In these things, we were trained. Through that only we have come up to the Sarvabhauma Sthiti. But even then, that is also not final because the avidya is not removed by vidya, and that avidya or ajnana is the beej of the samsara. By saying so, even the Hiranyagarbha Sthiti also is a samsara because he'll have to, as we said, answer to the prayers of all the jivas. He'll have to fulfill the punya, give the sukha phala of the punyas done by them, and he'll have to punish them for their papa. He's also will have to be so much actively involved. He also cannot afford to do any mistake. हिरण्यगर्भ का भी अपना टेंशन है. Only in the Brahma Tattva Anubhuti, all that is transcended. That is done through Vidya. Therefore, the teaching of this one. What is that? Beautiful sentence. What? Ki, Ataha Ashesha Upadrava Bijasya Ajnanasya Nivrutyartham. The Brahmananda Valli. That which is a seed for entire Upadravas. Therefore, how many Upadravas are there? Troubles are there, difficulties are there, problems are there, bondages are there, miseries are there, Ashesha. But this Ashesha Upadrava, endless miseries, countless dukkha's, for all of them, only one is the Bijam. That is called Ajnanam, Avidya of the Paramatma Vastu. Therefore, to remove that one common seed for entire Upadravas. Now you have to be very subtle. How kind and great and intelligent is our Bhagavan Adi Shankara. We have to catch it. He is telling the truth and he is giving the solution also. But the truth for entire samsara of everybody in the entire world of any type, only Mula one Mula Karanam, that is Ajnana. And now reverse it. When that Ajnana is eliminated, the effects of this Ajnana, the Ashesha Upadrava, all of them go away. See, this should inspire us that if I have to get rid of all problems once for all, I must get out of Ajnanam, and for that I have to gain the Jnanam. Now look from this side, I will gain that Atma Brahma Jnanam which removes the Ajnana or Avidya, after which not even one problem is going to be there. One dukkha is going to be there. One upadrava also is going to be not there. Is it not? See, Shankara Bhagavan ka any commentary, it's only we have to tune to him and become subtle. Then we will see how in precise words, perfect, complete, to the point commentary he gives us. Ashesha upadrava bijasya ajnanasya nivrutyartham. See the spashtata in that. Nivrutyartham for removal. Ajnana nivrutyartham for the removal of ajnana. Why? It is a bija. For what? Ashesha upadrava. Ashesha, endless, infinite, complete. Upadrava, continuous challenges and miseries and dukkha. So to remove the bija of all of them, bija called as ajnana. First reason. Second is what? Vidhuta sarva upadhi vishesha atma darshanartham. Second purpose of this Brahmananda Valli is what? Darshanartham. कौन सा दर्शनम? आत्म दर्शनार्थम. देखो, आत्म निर्माणार्थम नहीं है वो, आत्मा ऑलरेडी है, उसका हमें दर्शन नहीं हो रहा है, दर्शन कराने के लिए. बट आई एम ऑलरेडी आत्मा, आई एम एक्सपीरियंसिंग आत्मा. अरे यू आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग द उपाधि का आत्मा, सोपाधि का आत्मा. दैट इज व्हाट सेड, सोपाधि का अंतस्थित सोपाधि का आत्म दर्शनम in the fourth line. Now, in this Brahmananda Valli, Nirupadika Atma Darshanam is given. Sopadika Atma is a Jiva, even up to Hiranyagarbha level, bound by the limitations of the Upadhis. He is not a free bird. But Nirupadika Atma is a free bird. He is not limited by anything. But Sopadika is limited. He is limited by the Upadhis, he is limited by Deshakala Vastu and all that. But the Nirupadika Atma Vastu is blissful, he is infinite. It is endless, birthless, changeless, deathless, all that are there in it. Therefore, Ashesha Vidhuta Sarva Upadhi Vishesha Atma Darshanartham. Dekho, we are either in the Ajnanam, called as Nidra, or we are in the Sopadika Atma Sthiti, called as Jagrata Sapna. And all these three are binding only. Nidra binds because you can't all the time sleep. It will be, we are pushed out of it. Jagrat Swapna bondages, we know how to become happy, in other words, to become free. How we are struggling in so many actions, through so many actions. In and through every action and karma phala, we are only getting more bound and limited only. In Jagra Swapna avasthas, every effort put to get the freedom and sukha is adding to the bondage and dukkha only. This we have to discover from within. Whereas when we are reaching the Nirupadika Atma Tattva, there is no bondage, no limitation, no condition at all. Therefore, let there be a desire in us that let me experience the Nirupadika Atma in me. So too, then this Nirupadika Atma Anubhuti, Ananda Swarupa. So too, let me be free from all the dukkhas outside. The outer dukkhas are coming because of Ajnana. Therefore, let the Jnana help me in coming out of the dukkha. Let the Nirupadika Atma Anubhava give me that infinite bliss. After that, there is nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to reach, and all done. Now we see our mind every day from morning till evening. कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ना है, करना है. How many number of compulsions, impositions, insistences. ये करोगे तो वो मिस हो जाएगा, ये नहीं मिला तो वो हो जाएगा. We are always in a tensed and anxious mood only. We can never be relaxed without knowing our Nirupadika Atma. Till that, as a small little jiva, conditioned by avidya and upadhi, you can't avoid being miserable. You can't avoid struggling. You cannot avoid tensed up all the time. Why? Because the river cannot stay till it reaches the ocean and gains its infinitude. So to the jiva cannot be happy, come what may, whatever he does, unless he merges in with his essential nature called as infinite Paramatma. But problem क्या हो रहा है? This jiva is being tensed up and anxious and worried and working hard only in those fields where his jiva bhava, thereafter the struggles and worries continue only, not eliminated. Whereas in this Vidya Marga, if not today, maybe after some lives, but the jiva discovers his essential infinite nature. After that, there are no more struggles. In the world, struggles never end. Only in spiritual evolution, the struggles end. Therefore, this alone we have to pursue. See what Lord Krishna said yesterday to Arjuna, to Uddhavji, कि having gained this, यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयो अज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते, then Pitva piyusham amrutam patavyam navashishyate. Having taken ambrosia, amrutam, nothing more remains to be drunk. Same way, having known this and practiced, nothing remains to be known and done. That's what he talked about the Tattva Brahma Vidya only. So this first para of Bhagavan's Bhashya or the commentary should inspire us to take up the study of second Valli very, very, what do you say, challengingly, very interestingly. Because Asheshopadra Bija, Avidya will be removed, so too the Nirupadika Atma, which is Ananda Swarupa, that experience is given to us if you pursue this one. And this is why the Shruti Mata has taken up the second Brahma Vidya Brahmananda Valli. See, if this introduction is not given to us, we would have gone into the study but with little vagueness. Now the introduction is given and such simple words may, how so beautiful, complete it is. Now we are informed, we are also inspired. That is the greatness of all our rishis and gurus through the Shastra. They inform and they inspire. And when we seek them, they will empower us and they protect us and they hand in hand travel with us till we reach the goal. And the basic problem in all these things is, are we ready for our own journey in spirituality to reach the ultimate goal? Yeah. Now let us chant the Prathama Anuvaka and we'll try to enter into the Bhashya Adhyanam. As I was telling you, the Bhashya for this Prathama Anuvaka and the second one, first mainly by Bhagavan Bhashyakara is so complete, beautiful, profound, very logical, very subtle. If we can put our efforts and understand it, we'll have a lot of leaps in our spiritual understanding and journey. Spirituality is only more and more understanding, especially the Vedanta Marga. Only you understand through the fire of understanding only the ignorances and ignorance caused variety of moods of mind and the actions they all get burnt only. Jnana Agni Dagdha Karmana. Jnana Agni mein. So Vicharana, understanding. It's all understanding only. Nothing to do. Let us try it. Chant the Prathamanuvaka. Om Atadvitiya Brahmananda Valli Prathamanuvaka. Om Brahmavidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Yo Vedanihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti Tasmadva Etasmadatmana Akashas Sambhotaha Akashadvayuho Vayoragnihi Agnerabha Adbhyah Pruthivi Pruthivyā Oshadhayah Oshadhibhyonnam Annat Purushah Sava Esha Purushonnara Samayah Tasyedame Vashirah Ayam Dakshina Pakshah Ayamuttara Pakshah Ayamatma Idam Pucham Pratishtha Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now the discussion is of the first line of this first Anuvaka. Brahmavit apnoti param. See our forgetfulness. Such a profound sentence. How many times yesterday we spoke or talked about, still we forget it. Therefore, the love for the Shastra, when it grows, then only we put an effort desirously to remember it. And only when we remember, we are always inspired. So, Brahmavid apnoti param. So, what is given here? The Tattva Vidya, the Atma Vidya, the Brahma Vidya. So, before explaining one by one word, Bhagavan Shankara is telling us that in the first line itself, the Shruti Mata is telling us the phala of the pursuit of this Brahma Vidya, Dvitiya, Brahmananda Valli. So that's how slowly is developing the topic. Listen one by one line. What is that? Prayojanam cha asyaha Brahma Vidyayaha avidya nivrittihi. So, asyaha Brahma Vidyayaha prayojanam. So, what is given in the second Valli? Very clear words, Brahma Vidya. That is why the title of this second Valli is Brahmananda Valli. So, the subject matter is what? Brahma Vidya in the Dvitiya Valli. And what was the subject matter in the Prathama Shiksha Valli? It was Upasana. What is the ultimate thing reached through the Upasana as a phala? Sarvabhauma Sthiti. But is that sufficient for the moksha? No. Why? Because the samsara bija called as avidya of the reality or truth still there. And therefore we have taken second. What is in second? What is the subject matter here? Not the upasana. Then what it is? The Brahma Vidya. And what is the prayojan of the Brahma Vidya? The Ashesha Upadrava Bija Nirmulanam, called as avidya nivrutti. When the avidya nivartanam or nivrutti has happened, when the avidya is removed, what is its benefit or the prayojanam, result of it? He says, Tataha cha atyantika samsara abhavaha. Tataha means thereafter only. With the removal of the avidya only, atyantika means extreme, ultimate, final. What? Samsara abhavaha, the absence or removal of samsara. Abhava, discovered. In fact, is the samsara real? Two realities cannot be. Either the Paramatma must be real or samsara must be real. They are totally of opposite nature. If Paramatma has to be real, then the entire samsara has to be unreal. But do we experience it as unreal now? No. How are we experiencing it as Bhavatmaka? What is the reason? Because of the opposite thing called as Atma Jnana Anubhava has not come to us. Then when the Atma Jnana or Atma Anubhava or Brahma Jnana or Brahma Anubhava is gained, means the gaining in experience of the truth, of the reality, what will happen? The result is what? The bhavata of the samsara, means the reality given to the samsara goes away. Remember, samsara is never eliminated. The reality given to samsara is eliminated because samsara was never there. That is why Atyantika samsara nashaha is not said. Samsara abhavaha it is said. Paramatma is satvastu, is always there. And the samsara is bhava bhavatmaka. Bhava bhavatmaka, when the ignorance is there, it appears to be there. When the ignorance is removed, it discovered to be not there. Like a movie on a screen. It is not real. If it is real, it should be always there. It should be always there. It's not always there. There is not a real, but you see. That means when it is projected, it is bhavatmaka. When the projection is stopped, it is abhava. Movie on the screen. In the same way, samsara is bhavatmaka because of ignorance of the self. When the self is discovered, then we discover simultaneously the abhava of the samsara. What is the meaning of abhava samsara? It is not solving one or the other or many problems of the samsara, but it is dissolving entire samsara. अभाव हो गया उसका. डिस्ट्रक्शन नहीं, अभाव. व्हाट इज डिस्ट्रक्शन? अगर है तो उसका डिस्ट्रक्शन होता है, नहीं है वो बट लग रहा था है. In the see the power of that projection of in the cinema theater, the non-existing, so many variety of things are projected. So too the non-existing entire world is projected out of the ignorance of the self. And the self is discovered, all the projected gets rejected. So, through Brahma Vidya, the avidya is removed. Through avidya removal, Atyantika samsara abhava is discovered. Means what? Samsara is struggling. And through struggle, trying to get happiness, but getting only dukkha, bondage. That abhava, of samsara ka abhava hota hai. Therefore, in the place of effort, effortlessness. In the place of limitations, the unlimitedness. In the place of the dukkha or misery, there is a bliss. So, effortless, unlimited bliss is called the Brahmanubhuti and the absence of samsara simultaneously. Because in the samsara, there is effort, the thing gained is limited, and it is endowed with the misery only. And that's why throughout the Jagra Swapna Avastha, so much of samsara, the jiva goes through, jiva in us, he gets tired and he just says, अब हो गया मेरे से, नहीं कर सकता मैं आगे करके बेचारा he enters into sleep. In the sleep, it has no effort. And then there's a ananda. But the problem in the sleep is it is ignorant sleep, avidya, and it is not limitless or endless. Therefore, we have to get up only from that. We are slaves because of our avidya and vasanas, zabardasti to be pushed into jagat and swapna and struggle for the sukha. These are all coming under ignorance. Pay attentive. Thoda subtle point, try to catch karna. And in the Jagra Sapna, working, struggled so much, where we end up in only in ignorant bliss. Bliss in ignorance called as Nidra. What Brahma Vidya does, it takes us to that Atma Anubhuti, in which the Trigunas are the Upadis, because of which I am becoming as Jiva and I am traveling in these three avasthas of Jagra Swapna Sushupti, they are all transcended. Therefore, there is no struggle of Jagrat Swapna. There is no struggle that, yeah, I have to give up the sleep. It's a struggle for us to give up sleep because it's such a happy thing. Nobody loves to get up in the Monday morning to go to the work. Nobody. But they are forced by other desires or forced by the compulsions. Given a chance, everybody loves to sleep because it's an ananda. Everybody is seeking ananda finally. But the Nidra Ananda is Tamoguni Ananda. Therefore, it's not recommended. But there is Atma Ananda, Brahmananda. When that is reached, Jiva is not there with his Upadhi, then there is no struggle at all. So, always remember every time when this topic is coming, we are deliberately, consciously discussing and explaining this point that I remain I. And then I become Jiva through Upadhi. With Nirupadikata or being giving up Upadhi, I discover my Ananta Atma Swarupananda. Therefore, I am not missing myself. In spirituality, I am only getting rid of the limitations to reach to the infinitude. So the river is not missing anything when it is merging in the ocean. The only thing which can really make us clear in all the understandings and inspire is this one. Actually, the river is none but ocean. So, in these two aspects, ocean and real, which is the real thing? Ocean is real, it is eternal. Real, the river, how much ever, it has got special name, special upasanas done by the people, take bath in that and all. फिर भी कोई भी रियल नहीं होता रिवर रियल होता है ओशन ही when I understand the ocean is reality, out of that only emerged out or projected is the limited river. Then both the things, my fear that I have to leave this riverness also goes away, and the clarity comes that actually I am the ocean. In the same way, as a Jiva, we are unreal. As a Atma, only we are real. Secondly, Jiva is only struggling in his limitation with Upadhi. But Atma is no struggle, endless anubhuti of the Anandam. Therefore, should we continue in samsara to be a jiva with all activities, or should we discover our Atma Swarupa and become Ananda? We have to sometimes ponder over it. River's identity is never separate from ocean. Jiva is never away, apart, independent from the Atma, By all means, in the Jiva, the Chaitanya Pratibimba also belongs to Paramatma. In the Jiva, the Upadis also have come from the Atma Shakti only called as the Maya Shakti. Therefore, Jiva always is in connection with the Paramatma, is never away apart from him. Therefore, should not hesitate in merging the Atmanubhuti. That's how the main point is conveyed. What happens to us is whenever the new place we are told to go, we are fear of insecurity and we are very secured, I can't go. That's what we say. That's how in the world many people deny great opportunities because they are in a comfort zone, they don't want to come out of it. Same applies to spirituality also. We are comfortable zone of jiva with upadis, getting some small sukhas. Yeah, there are difficulties, challenges. It's okay, we go through. I don't know about the Atma. So, to that doubtful mind intellect, these are the explanations to be given for conviction. The jiva is pseudo, he is unreal. Whatever the bhavatmakata of the jiva you are experiencing now, that also completely is the dena or the blessing of the Paramatma only. Paramatma Anubhuti is infinite, it is bliss. So when I discover myself, these sufferings as a jiva, these struggles as a jiva, these disappointments and miseries as a jiva, which I am going through, to all of them there will be an end. That thing I have to entertain again and again, again and again. Then only the conviction in the personality happens to pursue that Atma Jnana. Such person alone can regularly listen Upanishad, do the sadhana and reach out. All that is said as Atyantika Samsara Abhava. Hmm. So, प्रयोजनं च अस्याः ब्रह्मविद्यायाः विद्यानिवृत्तिः ततः अविद्यानिवृत्तेः च आत्यन्तिकसंसार अभावः. So, having heard this, if somebody is not inspired for the Brahma Vidya, now what to talk about him? You can't say it is a foolishness only. That even after listening that in the Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, samsara uparama happens, yet if he is not pursuing the Brahma Vidya path, अब गड़बड़ किसके अंदर है? When it is told that this place is so beautiful and all, and it is free of cost, you can stay. But still, if somebody is not interested in staying only slum area, अब उसको देख हंसना ही पड़ेगा हमको. So even after knowing that the Brahma Vidya removes samsara from the root level, still if somebody is not pursuing Brahma Vidya, अब तो number one बेवकूफ है. And that he should realize that he is बेवकूफ. And he should come out of that बेवकूफी. How? By saying that, therefore I will pursue only Brahma Vidya. Therefore, till we discover in us the conviction that I must gain my Brahma Jnana or Atma Jnana, till that is gained, we are not intelligent. Is it not? That's why Esha Buddhimatam Buddhi Manisha Cha Manishinam. The intelligence of the intellect, intelligent, and the great conviction of the great convinced person is what? Discovering Paramatma alone as the goal. Therefore, anybody who is pursuing anything other than Paramatma's goal is not completely intelligent, completely smart nahi hai. And all his convictions are pseudo semi and not real or ultimate. Therefore, he will gain many things, but not the thing. You know, somebody becomes doctor to be happy. He became doctor, but not never happy. Because in becoming, there is misery only. There is happiness only in the being. If these things are not clearly understood, we do everything to become something to be happy. We do everything and we become also, but not happy. Happiness is not in becoming, it is in the being. Being is the self. In every becoming, there is samsara only. Uh-huh. So, being a man, what a joy. Now, became husband or became a wife and became father is going on trouble only. Becoming officer, becoming intelligent. You understand? So, atyantika samsara uparamaha. Now, samsara bhavaha. Now, vakshyati cha. Now, listen to the next explanation. Vakshati cha means in this very Upanishad it is told. It will be told in the future. What is that? In the this Valli only in the ninth of the mantra. Ki Vidwan na vibheti kutaschana. Listen carefully. Vidwan means Atma Vidwan. Yeah, Brahma Vidwan. Na vibheti is not afraid of anything. Kutaschana. Now, can there be any greater uh, desire and state of being reached than where there is samsara parama and bhayarahitya? Samsara is struggle or effort. Effortless, fearless stage. Can there be anything greater than this? As we said now, we have fear, and fear is pushing us to put efforts. And the efforts again create fear because will that effort gives the result or not? Even if the result comes, will it be infinite? Will it be continuous? Whether you are afraid or not, the entire worldly results are finite only, they are not continuous. Therefore, struggle and fear in the world will never end. With fear, you are struggling, and again with struggle, we get fear because is that struggle going to give me complete, endless happiness or not? It is not going to give. Therefore, in samsara, with prompted by the fear, with limited abilities, when we put the limited efforts, the result also will be in finitude only limited. With that, fear never goes away, efforts never end. Whereas here, na bibheti kutaschana. So, avidya nirmulanam through that samsara abhavaha, all the same time, bhayarahityam. Na vibheti kutaschana. And bhaya comes from the dvitiya, abhayata will be ekameva advaya. That will also be added later on. But in the sequence of development of thought, having quoted this mantra of this very Upanishad, Bhashyakara says, samsara nimittecha sati. Okay, when the avidya is there and samsara called as struggle called as samsara is continuous, then abhayam pratishtam vindate iti anupapannam. How come in the seventh mantra the Upanishad says he will get the pratishtha establishment in the abhaya, the fearlessness? We are fearless sometime when we forget the problems, when we are in the nidra, when we are somewhere in some entertainment or enjoyment, but that's not permanent establishment in fearlessness. Okay, here avaya pratishtam vindate. Somebody that person experiences pratishtha in the fearlessness, means is established in fearlessness, never the fear comes. So, if the samsara is there, how can then one person say the abhaya pratishtha vindate? It's not possible. Therefore, through the Brahma Vidya, the samsara is removed. Through the Brahma Vidya, the avidya is removed. Through the Brahma Vidya alone, the fearlessness establishment happens. So samsara nimittecha sati abhayam pratishtam vindate iti anupapannam. It cannot be concluded that what Shruti says is possible, that Abhaya Pratishtha. So you have to, each sentence you have to understand independently and connect all of them and get the juice out of it. What Shruti said, Abhaya Pratishtha Vindate. One establishes in the fearlessness, which is one of the beautiful joys, the joy, ultimate joy. And one cannot claim that Abhaya Pratishtha as long as samsara is there. And samsara abhava cannot happen till the vidya, avidya is not removed. Avidya can never be removed without the Brahma Vidya. Therefore, Brahma Vidya, removal of avidya, removal of samsara, therefore, abhaya pratishtha. If Brahma Vidya is not there, we are in avidya. When we are in avidya, we are in jiva adi bhava. With the jiva bhava, our life is full of samsara. The only lakshana of a samsari is always in fear. Bhaya, bhaya, bhaya. And what are the three fears? Major fears to avoid which we are continuously struggling. And those three fears can be eliminated only in the spiritual emancipation, nowhere else. What the one fear is called? The fear of extinction. Don't we have that fear of extinction? That is why we just do all these donations so that our name is permanently put on the stone. The stone itself is not permanent. Every one of us have the fear of extinction, fear of non-existence. It is called as fear of disappearance, fear of death. Let us call it as in the blunt words. All of us have the fear. हम मरेंगे 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 करके. But I tell you, we have discussed in some other topic earlier. Death is only a myth. Either death never happens or death is happening every moment. From the Upadhi standpoint, death is happening every moment because every moment the Upadhis are changing. From the absolute standpoint, there is no death possible. Death is only a change. We explained one day, if you remember, Atma Drushti, no death. Jiva Drushti, no death. Upadhi Drushti, that's an assembly of Panchamahabhutas, there is no death. They just dissolve and go back. If one can understand it and abide in it, the first achievement and very important achievement, the fear of death goes away. Then we can relax to that level. That is general explanation. Particularly here, the fear of death or the extinction is always with us. This is called as first fear. Everybody is trying to sustain real. That is why कुछ भी करो डॉक्टर साहब और भी जीना है मुझे और भी जीना है. But what is the mistake there? As a upadhi, through the upadhi, you cannot have permanent. That is the inherent limitation of the upadhi. But the Nirupadhika Atma is birthless, changeless, deathless. You are already that. When you discover that, how can there be any fear of death? When I discover I am Sat, how can there be fear of death? And when I don't discover myself with that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, as a Jiva, whether you are afraid or not, you will definitely leave this body and go to Ada. As a Deha, whether you are afraid or not, definitely the Deha also have to dissolve. But there will be always fear at that level. So fear of death. Second is what? Fear of cheating. है ना कोई मुझे चीट करेगा धोखा करेगा दैट इज वाई गो ऑन ट्राइंग टू गेन दिस और दैट नॉलेज टू कीप आवर सेल्फ सिक्योर्ड फ्रॉम गेटिंग cheated by others. Deception it is called. Fear of deception. Deceived by others. But I have Shuddha Jnana Swarupa, then how can anybody deceive me? The Vedanta Jnana reveals to us, Brahma Jnana, that I am the Jnapti Swarupa, I am the Jnana Swarupa. How can I be cheated by anyone? Only an Ajnani can be cheated by others, not a Jnani. I am the Jnapti Swarupa. How can anybody take away my Jnapti Swarupa? Oh, nobody can cheat me. At an intellectual level, if the other fellow is more intelligent than you, he will cheat you. So who is getting cheated? The Jiva, not Paramatma. And there is a second fellow to cheat Paramatma. Is there another Chaitanya Atma to cheat the Chaitanya Atma in me? See the fear of deception, dhoka. We always are afraid my children will cheat me, and somebody else in office may, the colleagues or the boss will cheat me. Cheat or deceive, whatever. The language you can use whatever you want. As long as you got the point. It will never end. Only when I discover my conscious self, it will end. That's the second bhayam. Third bhaya is what? The fear of misery or dukkha. हमेशा हमको डर लगता रहता है कि ये अच्छा नहीं हुआ तो मैं दुखी हो जाऊंगा दुखी हो जाऊंगा अरे when you are आनंद स्वरूप and that आनंद स्वरूप and discovered, how can there be fear of dukkha? So the freedom from these three fears is called moksha. That's called abhayasthiti. That can never be achieved in any other case other than discovering our essential self. We have to very, very, very pakka in this knowledge. Then only we will do our adhyatmic sadhana purposefully, sincerely, inspiredly and meaningfully. Otherwise वो tentative होता है, half-hearted होता है. Many of us are tentative, half-hearted, non-committal in our spirituality only because of not knowing this great thing. That every fear ends. You get into the abhayasthiti, fearlessness. So Brahma Vidya removes avidya, by the removal of avidya, atyantika samsara abhavaha. And what was it later on? The quotation is given. Vakshati vidwan na viveti kutaschana. And if the samsara is there, samsara nimitya chasati, avayam pratishtha vindate iti anuvapannam. You cannot say that avaya pratishtha has gained because samsara, when the samsara is continuous. तो संसार चला गया तो ही अभय प्रतिष्ठा मिलेगा, अविद्या गया तो ही संसार जाएगा. विद ब्रह्म विद्या ओनली द अविद्या goes away. Therefore, the Brahma Vidya gives us Abhaya Pratishtha. That is why in this portion of Brahmananda Valli, Brahma Vidya, Abhaya Pratishtha Vindate mantra has come. Clear? No, Ataha cha Avagamyate. Avagamyate means conclusion. What is therefore concluded? What is derived or arrived at? Ataha cha Avagamyate. What? Asmat Vijnanat. Asmat Vijnanat means with this Vijnana means direct personal immediate experience. Jnana is Siddhantika Jnana. Knowing thoroughly that I am Sachidananda Atma, intellectual. Vijnana means what? On the seat of meditation, through Dhanvaya Vetreka, reaching to the direct personal aparoksha anubhuti of the self. That is called a Vijnana. Therefore, Asmat Vijnanat, with the Vijnana of what is taught in the second Valli. What is taught in the second Valli? Sarva Atma Brahma Vishayatu. See, another word is introduced. So, by using these words, Bhagavan is making us familiar with and also giving us the ideas. These are the topics we are going to discover. See, what a powerful word this is. Sarva, Sarva Atma Brahma. Sarva is all the Rupanama. Sarva Atma is the Atma of all the Rupanama. And what is it? Brahma only. Uska Vijnanat. O wala Vishay Rupi Vijnan se. सर्वात्म ब्रह्म विषयात अस्मात् विज्ञानात्. सब में रहने वाले ब्रह्म का अपरोक्ष रूप से अनुभव पाने के बाद आत्यंतिकः संसार अभावः. The complete cessation of the samsara. So you are, that cinema, so much hangama, tension goes on 3 hours, action jam-packed movie, and all that is over. Shanta. Every day in so many things we can feel Shanti, but only again the Shanti because something else to do again and again. बड़े बेटी का शादी हो गया, आजकल बेटी के ज़्यादा बेटे के शादी में टेंशन है. होते ही immediately the second fellow in line, अब उसका भी करना है शांति. But when you do the first one, you feel that Shanti. Like every day you come home from the office, what is Shanti? But only few hours because again phone आता है, कल के लिए सब तैयार होना. You also every day in the evening after the Adhyatma Ramayanam class, how Shanta you feel. Only for 1 hour. By that time, the wife or husband says, अरे अभी टीवी देख रहे हो, सो जाओ, सुबह स्वामी जी की क्लास में नहीं जाना क्या? Immediately अशांति. So all the Lord, नित्य शांति नहीं है हमको, आत्यंतिक शांति नहीं है, आत्यंतिक अभाव नहीं है संसार का. So here, अस्मात् विज्ञानात् सर्व आत्म ब्रह्म विषयात् अस्मात् विज्ञानात् आत्यंतिकः संसार अभावः इति. So we are not telling you to take away something from you. We are not misguiding you. We are not limiting you or binding you with any of the samsara by inviting you for this Brahma Vidya. On the other hand, we are giving you the best which nobody else can give. That is Atyantika Samsara Bhava. There is no samsara at all. No struggle, no misery, no limitation, no all this bhaya of deception, death and this misery etc. कोई भी भय नहीं रहेगा. तो भय नहीं है, संसार नहीं है, therefore संसार बंधन रूपी भय नहीं है. That abhaya sthiti we reach through the Brahma Vidya that is given to us in the second Valli. This is what is said. Now, Swayam eva aha prayojanam. This is Bhagavan Bhashyakara's explanation. Now he is taking the Prathama mantra, Brahma Vida Apnoti Param. हो गया? अभी उस वहां तक पहुंचे नहीं, हम वहां अभी शुरू कर. स्वयं एव श्रुति माता आह प्रयोजनम. श्रुति माता herself is telling the prayojanam of the Brahma Vidya which is going to be taught. We have to study theoretically, intellectually, and we have to practice and get it experientially. So, swayam eva aha prayojanam. श्रुति माता ने खुद कहा द बेनिफिट एंड प्रयोजन ऑफ दिस ब्रह्म विद्या. व्हाट इज दैट? ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम इति आदौ एव. Brahmavid knows the param or obtains the param in the beginning only. The prayojanam Shruti Mata said. Many a times after half of the subject is over, then say because of doing this, this is a benefit. But in this case, पहले ही हमको benefit बता रहे, प्रयोजनम. So स्वयं एव आह प्रयोजनम. श्रुति माता ने खुद कहा ब्रह्मविद्या का प्रयोजन क्या है. What did she say? ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम इति. Brahmavid, knower of the Brahman, apnoti, obtains param in supreme. Adau eva, in the beginning only. And in the Anubandha Chatushtaya, sambandha prayojana jnapanartham. The sambandha is what? Brahma Vidya is given, and as a Vidyarthi we are receiving. So Vidya Dhanam, Vidya Grahanam is the sambandha between the Shruti Mata and I, the student, you, the student. And what is the prayojanam? Because without prayojanam, one should not or will not do anything. Paramapnoti. And why did Shruti Mata said the sambandha and prayojana and the sambandha between sambandha and prayojana? What is the meaning here? Brahmavid. What is the subject here? Brahma. What is done with Brahman? It is taught to you. When you are taught the Brahma, what happens to you? You get the Brahma Vidya. What is the result of Brahma Vidya? Param. Param is supreme. Supreme is there nothing beyond that. So, knower of the Brahman obtains the supreme. It is the first mantra of the Dvitiya Valli Prathama Anuvakam. Now, it itself has such an inspiration. And nobody should stop at the achievement of the avaram or the lower level. If we are really intelligent, we should aim at achieving the param or the supreme. Supreme is achieved through Brahman only. Therefore, Brahmavid apnoti param, by indicating the prayojana of the Brahma Vidya, we are inspired towards it. We always go for the best only. So, param is the bestest too. That we come to get through the Brahma Vidya. Therefore, we should go for it. So, here he says, nirjnatayoho hi sambandha prayojanayoho. Only when the clear, undoubted understanding about sambandha and prayojana. Sambandha is what? My sambandha with the Shastra. And what is the Shastra, my sambandha? Bodhya Bodhaka sambandha. So, Shastra is Bodhaka, I am the Bodhya. And what is the Vishaya here? Brahma Vidya. And what is the prayojana for it? Paramapnoti. Now, only when I am very clear that with this Brahma Vidya, I am going to get the Param Supreme. Only when I am very clear and convinced that through Brahma Vidya I get that ultimate or Supreme and Param, that these four things can be done by me. What are they? Vidya Shravana, Vidya Grahana, Vidya Dharana, Vidya Abhyasam. Vidya Abhyasartham Pravartate. Now देखो भगवान शंकर जी का इंटेलिजेंस. श्रुति माता ने क्यों कहा प्रयोजनम? प्रयोजन इसलिए कहा क्योंकि जिसने प्रयोजन को देखा और समझा और उसके बाद उसको देखकर इंस्पायर होने के बाद ही he will do these things. What are the four things which we'll discuss tomorrow? Vidya, Shravana, Grahana, Dharana and Abhyas. So by saying this intelligently, what is he inducing into our heart? भैया तुमको तो आत्यंतिक संसार निवृत्ति तो हो जाएगा, हमें प्रतिष्ठा भी हो जाएगा. और ये होगा when you remove the avidya. And when the avidya is removed, sir, when you get the Brahma Vidya. And where the Brahma Vidya is given to us? In the Upanishad Brahmananda Valli. And how do we gain this Brahma Vidya? These are the 4 steps. He is giving us the unavoidable, inevitable process of gaining that Brahma Vidya, which removes the samsara, atyantika way, and also removes the fear. Thus, we achieve the param. So, atyantika samsara removal is the negative result. Parama apnoti, the supreme gain, is the positive result. And if you have to have the positive result, supreme gain, you have to have Brahma Vidya. How the Brahma Vidya is gained? Four steps. One is Shravana, second is Grahana, third is Dharana, fourth is Abhyas. Is it not? The same thing was said in the first Shannomitra Mantra Bhashya. When the Devatas bless us, when they are Sham, तेषां तेषु तासां सुखकृत्सु हि तेषु सुखकृत्सु हि there's a sentence. Only when the devatas bless us and become convenient to us that vidya shravana dharana upayogaha bhavanti. Same thing is repeating here also, because here also the beginning of the first anuvakam. Is it not? There the upasanas, we have to do the shravana and dharana and upayoga. Here the विद्या का क्या करना है? श्रवण धारण, between dharana then another thing is there. Shravana and grahana and the dharana, then abhyas karna either. Each of them, what are they? Little bit we'll touch it when we meet tomorrow. Now, Shravanadi Purvakam hi Vidya Phalam. Remember, Vidya ka phal called as moksha can never come without these Vidya से श्रवण से शुरू होने वाले साधनाएं नहीं करे तो what are they? What Brihadaranyaka is quoted. Shrotavyah, Mantavyah, Nididhyasitavyah. Ityadi Shruti Antarebhyah. Shruti Antara means other Shrutis. In the other Shrutis it is told Atma is obtained only through Shravanam, Mannam and Nididhyasanam. Therefore, without Shravanam, Mannam and Nididhyasanam, Atma Anubhuti will never come to you. Therefore, when you have the prayojanam kept in the mind, and also when you remember the quotation of the other Upanishad, प्रयोजन भी एक तरफ हमको इंस्पायर कर रहा है, कोटेशन भी एक तरफ हमको टेम्प्ट और प्रॉम्प्ट कर रहा है. For what? Putting all those efforts for Brahma Vidya Prapti. What are they? Shravana, Grahana, Dharana and Abhyas. So therefore, don't just be satisfied with Shravana. When we are going to study from tomorrow the Brahma Vidya, try to have the Grahana of it. Grahana is holding it in the mind. Then doing the Mananam Chintanam, let that become your knowledge. Call it Dharana. But unless Dharana's Abhyasa is done, the Anubhuti will not come, therefore Abhyasa. This Abhyasa is called Brahma Abhyasa and all. See the Abhyasa. Same Abhyasa will be told to us even in our Yoga Darshanam. We will see there. So today's summary is what? In the Shastra, the Brahma Vidya is given. The Brahma Vidya removes Atyantika, Samsara, as well as it removes the Bhaya and gives us the Abhaya Pratishtha. Therefore, we must have the deep inclination and desire to possess or gain this Brahma Vidya. First point. Second one, this Brahma Vidya Prapti has 4 steps to be followed. Shravana, Grahana, Dharana and then Abhyasa. In this Brahma Vidya only, that avidya nivrutti and samsara abhava happens. In other case, you are always in the avidya. With avidya, we consider ourselves as jiva, and our samsara of eternal struggle will never end. That much is today's summary. So when we come tomorrow, इसको और एक बार थोड़ा देख कर, because it will take time, therefore I will not elaborate it. थोड़ा some touch करेंगे. Then he takes up one by one word. Brahma, Brahmavit, Apnoti and Param, those words he will explain. Then immediately the Purvapakshi comes. He puts a very beautiful logical question. Apnoti is the objection he raises. How can the Brahma be obtained? Apnoti. Therefore, Shruti is wrong. That's how the Brahma Vidya giving second only you should not study at all. Not required. That is how in that tone he comes. बट भगवान का जो भाष्य है इस प्रश्न के उत्तर में इट इज रियली एन आई ओपनर. इट रियली गिव्स आवर इंटेलेक्ट ए गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ए ग्रेट एवोल्यूशन. लेट अस एंजॉय दैट. Then thereafter Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, uska explanation. बहुत बढ़िया. These two, as I was telling you every day, Brahma Vidapnoti Param, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. These two are the Sutra Vakyas of the entire second and third Valli. This is what is elaborated. Like the first four sutras are the Sutra Vakyas for the entire Yoga Darshanam, for the entire Bhakti Darshanam, for the entire Vijnana Brahma Darshanam. In the Yoga Sutra, Bhakti Sutra, and Brahma Sutra. We quoted yesterday to you. Here also, that is the thing. Let us see what's there for us in the next class. Sarvam Bhagavad Charanaravindarmanamastu. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. When the chitta is in the Shuddha Sattva-guna sthiti, not only the understanding of the subject happens, but the meaning of that understanding, the glory, greatness of that also comes to us. At a chitta level of grossness, busy with the gainings of the temporary things of the world, the meaning and the glory of these Upanishadic mantras easily is not caught by any of the listeners. Therefore, with the Shuddha Antakarana gained through Yoga Abhyasa, when we listen these Vedanta Vakyas, we will feel for them. The ultimate thing is what I must feel for my Brahma Vidya and Adhyatmika sadhana and do it to reach out. और जब तक फीलिंग नहीं होता ना, कभी आते कभी नहीं आते, सुनते नहीं सुनते, करते नहीं करते, then there is no joy of doing or reaching. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you friends. Let's spend some 15 minutes for our yoga darshanam.